Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to Conversations with Cree. I hope everyone is doing great today. The scripture of the day is coming from Ecclesiastes 3:1, and it states, "There is an appointed time for everything, and there is a time for every event under heaven." That's Ecclesiastes 3:1. There is an appointed time for everything, and there is a time for every event under the sun. So when I think about that scripture, it reminds me that God's timing is perfect. We want so much of what we want to happen in our timing. And sometimes, things will work out the way that we plan them or we want them because that's God's will. But there's other times, and a lot of those times, where things don't always work out or you don't get the things that you're hoping for. When it comes to me, and it's one thing I can think about, as you can see in the background, is some hair things on the wall. Well, that's because I am a cosmetologist. I specialize in natural hair, and I've been doing this for now 10 years almost, which is crazy. But if I had it my way, I would have went into the business so much sooner. I actually wanted to become a cosmetologist in high school. My senior year, they had a program available called the Career Center, and you could enroll, and by the time you graduated, you could have your cosmetology license. So I was so excited about pursuing this, but at the end of the day, I could not because my counselor did not give me my proper classes, and I wasn't aware or educated enough to know what classes I should have had by my senior year. So I was not able to pursue that at that time. And yes, I was very upset and disappointed to the point where I just put it out of my mind and I never really thought about it again. Because at that point, I had to figure out what was next and what was I going to do after graduation. So years later, I was working at the casino, and that really wasn't going well to the point where I was not happy with what I was doing. So then I thought about it again. Cosmetology school is something I always wanted to do. I had the skill set, so that's something that I pursued once again. At that time, still was not successful. I could not get financial aid because of the money me and my husband was making at that time, and I did not want to pay out of pocket because it was pretty expensive. So I went away from that once again. I tried a second time. And I think I was part time at that particular time. And I thought, okay, well, this is the time. It's time for me to go ahead and do this. Still was not able to qualify for financial aid. And then they wanted me to pay money out of pocket. And I'm like, I definitely can't do that because obviously I'm not even working a full time schedule anymore. So I had to go away from it once again. The third time was the charm. And God said, it's time. I went to apply after I had left the casino for a year. I was doing insurance. I was an independent contractor. I was able to apply, and then because I was not making the money I had been making previously, I qualified for a grant that I applied for, and I received the grant, and it paid half of what the tuition was. So that was such a blessing. And then I completed hair school within that under a year actually, and that's what I've been doing ever since. But what I've come to realize when I think about that is that it wasn't on my timing, that was God's timing for me. For whatever reason, I had to go from high school all the way until 2016 when I actually did it and graduated from cosmetology school. I had to grow. I had to have some life experiences to do what I'm doing now. And I understand it so much clearer now, and I thank God for that. It's such a blessing. So when we're thinking about, not being able to do what we want to do or have those blessings that we've been praying for, sometimes it's just not time. And that's okay. We just got to be patient and trust God. So my reflection from the scripture today goes like this. Do you ever feel like things are not going how you want them to go? You have been doing everything right in your eyes, but for some reason, you just can't seem to get to the place you have been striving to get to in life. I know that feeling all too well. Social media can sometimes make things worse. You see everyone else accomplishing their goals and being successful. You have to know your time is coming. We all have our own path to follow. God will now allow us to have those things we want if we are not prepared to receive them. So he prepares us as we go on this journey called life. In every season, know that God is working it out for you. You can look back over your life and see where God has answered prayers. If you really pay attention, you will see that those prayers were answered in God's perfect timing. We have to just trust that God knows best. Just keep doing what it is you know you should be doing, waking up every day, putting your best foot forward, and continuing to grow. You will have a testimony that will bless others. So please, everyone, be encouraged. So that is my scripture and reflection from today. Everyone, please join me tomorrow for the next scripture of the day. You all have an amazing day and be blessed.